And also, according to a new report from Axios, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson is ready to unleash his allies on his former employer. Now, this comes in response to the network's alleged smear campaign against him. One ally told Axios, quote, Tucker knows where a lot of bodies are buried and is ready to start drawing a map.
Last week, Megyn Kelly gave a staunch defense of Carlson. She says Fox's primary goal is to harm Tucker to the point where it become difficult for him to get hired by other media companies or TV networks. Kelly also claims there is an orchestrated destruction campaign being run by Fox PR chief Irina Briganti. Now, Briganti has denied those allegations, but listen to this.
This is all an orchestrated hit job, in my opinion. And it's not a subtle one. It's not enough to fire you, Haya. You must be destroyed. And it doesn't matter how nice a guy you were, how many points you put on the board for the channel, that you brought us through the Trump years, that you were #1 in your time slot, that you haven't said one negative word about us. You will be destroyed to settle some angry, bitter, internal PR hacks, personal vendetta against you. And if she managed to convince the bosses, the Murdochs, that he's not good for them either, that he may have called them a name or two, so much the better, because they're the ones who make the final decisions. That's what I think is going on here.
All right, well, Tucker is locked into a $10 million contract for about another 2 years until January 2025. So Tucker can't work for a rival network like us here at Newsmax, and he can't say anything disparaging about Fox, who fired him. Tucker has hired a top Hollywood lawyer, Brian Friedman, to get him out of that contract. Axios also reports that Tucker has been talking to Elon Musk about creating a new platform to rival Fox News.
Now, that's an interesting conversation. Wouldn't you like to see the
I
two
would
of them
love
talking?
to be a fly on the
Yeah,
wall.
fly on the wall there. Newsmax CEO Chris Ruddy has already said that we are open to having a conversation with Tucker about him joining the network. Tucker's team has also accused Fox of violating its agreement by engaging in this nasty smear campaign against him.
Yeah, and Fox News' attorneys are now requesting that Dominion voting systems conduct their own internal investigation after a leaked text from Tucker regarding the January 6th Capitol breach surfaced. Now, the network says documents pertaining to his recent legal battle with Dominion were improperly disclosed to the media.
Now, Fox News continues to see a massive ratings drop since they kicked Tucker off the air. Last week's Newsmax John Bachman asked Florida Governor Ron DeSantis about the ongoing feud between Fox and Tucker, and here's what he had to say.
Tucker Carlson is a fantastic individual. I think his show was fantastic. I think it's terrible that he was fired. I think there's more to it. I don't really think it was about Tucker. I think it's about some of this other stuff that's going on with Fox. But, you know, he was somebody that was willing to speak out and challenge the prevailing orthodoxies. And, you know, and so he's hitting the right issues, and he's talented, he's funny, and it was a great show. I guarantee you, whatever he does, he's going to be very successful.
All right, and back with us to discuss all of this and so much more, John Burnett and Betsy McCoy, plus Florida businessman and lawyer Ford O'Connell, and host of Money Talk with Melanie Collette. Ford, I'm going to start with you here. What do you think about Tucker? Do you think he's going to get out of that contract? And what do you make of that conversation he's reportedly having with Mr. Elon Musk?
Well, it's quite clear that Fox News does not want Tucker working elsewhere before 2025. And to be totally honest, non-competes among corporate employers and talents are not all that uncommon. Tucker Carlson's going to have to find a way to make Fox an offer that they literally cannot refuse. And unfortunately, all this is a shame because Tucker Carlson is a political force and the leading voice of populism in the United States at this point. And to have him sidelined ahead of the 2024 election does not do justice to Republicans.
Yeah, by the way, I don't think a non-compete applies in New York. I don't think you can have those, but you can, if they're paying him, keep him off the air. Melanie, let me set it up with this. Even former NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre weighed in on the Tucker Carlson situation, saying, I'm with Tucker. Time to boycott Fox until they come to their senses and let the man speak. What do you think?
Well, I'm not a big fan of boycotts, but what I will tell you, as everyone knows, I'm a card-carrying fan of the unofficial Tucker Carlson fan club. But it sounds to me, there's a good friend that says to always think strategically. And it sounds to me like Fox did not think all of these steps through just because they have a non-compete. Tucker is very smart. I'm sure he's hired the best of the best as far as representation. And I would not be surprised if he gets out of this or finds some other way to maneuver and make Fox pay.
Yeah. All right. John and Betsy, we are really tight on time, but we want to hear from both of you. John.
Well, I would actually buy Tucker if he was a stock. Why? Because he's going to go up. He has the goods. He has options. Fox has no cards to play. Why? Because as you can see, the celebrities and everyday working Americans are actually coming against Fox.
And Betsy.
Look, I've known Tucker for 25 years. When he was a brand new reporter at the Weekly Standard, he covered me when I was in New York politics. And I just have the highest opinion of him. Ever since I looked out in the audience that first time and saw him with that dapper bow tie, he's grown
Which
into
he
a
no longer
fabulous
wears,
person.
right?
Yeah, I like the bow tie
Came to
too.
his senses.
Oh,
Well, he
I
might
like
have
the
an
bow tie.
ascot after
Okay.
this.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Ford and Melanie.